Hey there, Mike Dunn with Gamingtrend. We're here at our booth at Origins Game Fair with David Gordon, Tim, and Eamon Anderson to talk to us about their new game, Floristry. Guys, I think it's the most people we've had in this booth at one time. I just want to say, awesome, right?
It's four of us.
But I know it's four of us, right? But yeah, tell us about Floristry. What's this game about?
Sure. Well, thank you for having us. It's really an honor to be here, and we're excited to talk about it. Floristry is a two-player game. You're playing as a floral shop owner trying to acquire flowers to put in your floral shop display, and whoever can make the most charming display in the end will be the winner. You're trying to get flowers and connect groups of the same type of flower, because at the end of the game you're going to score each of your the largest group of each flower and get points for those. So if I have this group of 3 yellow, for example, 3 tulips, it would be 1 point. If I had a group of 6 of them, it would be 3 points, or a group of 10, it would be 6 points. I'm not sure if you can see this little stand which stands between the players so they can both see the score. And all of that scoring is done at the end, and you track that scoring with your little cat meeple. And
It's adorable.
thank you. In fact, that one is Tam's cat.
Oh, nice.
And whoever ends up with the most points wins.
Yeah, whose cat is this?
That's Parfai's friend, Tappy Open.
Okay, fantastic. I like the dessert thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
So each round there'll be 4 tiles that are drawn from the bag at random, and each player, Evan, do you want to put your finger on it ready? Each player will, when they're ready, release, and the clock will start going down. This is a Dutch auction, so every 3 seconds on this clock, the price drops. So each player will think about what price they want to pay, and when someone's ready, they'll tap it and they buy it. In this case, Eamon got it for just 1, and that 1 is subtracted from the total, and he gets to select any 3 of those that he wants, and I get the other 1 for free. And we draw 4 more tiles for the next round. We do 10 rounds of that, and that's the game. And we count up our score at the end, and whoever has the most points wins.
Fantastic. Now, I noticed that it's just kind of floating in this frame here. Do these represent boundaries?
That's a great question. So they do. There's enough room to fit 8 across, but if you've got a whole bunch here, instead of moving this whole group, which can be a lot of tiles, you can move your frame to give yourself kind of that king domino limit of the space, but you can move your frame to make more room.
And since it's a cat on the score tracker, it has good footing and will fall.
That's right, yeah. It's
Genius.
should have done that from the top down.
Yeah, there we go.
Go top down. Sure.
Yeah, the top down shot.
Yes. Well, a couple of things I'm noting. First of all, an app. So I like the simplicity of the app, and I like the way it's integrated with the game. There's a lot of games out there with assistant apps that are just kind of superfluous or overly complex, right? And this feels like it's integral. And it's not like something you could do on your with a normal like typer on your iPhone or watch, because it's got the Dutch auction functionality. Like what kind of drove you guys to go that route instead of something I guess more manual?
Yeah, the first bunch of tests were all charts and papers that I was like tracking the spending and all of the different things on the clock. I had a clock going, and like, okay, now it's 3, now it's 2.
It's very mathy.
That was too much. But Tam is the genius behind the app. I don't know if you want to talk about how it's not in the
I
app
have a
store.
background in technology and building apps. And
Excellent.
I've always wanted to integrate some technology into board games. And the idea is to make the barrier to entry as low as possible. So you'll note that this is a web app, something that you can plug in restaurant, just scan the QR code and it opens up the web browser. So there's nothing to
That's this right here.
Correct.
Okay.
There's nothing to install. There's nothing. It doesn't take space. But it also has the benefit that even if you don't have internet connection, you can run it. It's not.
It's got it's offline.
It's an offline.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, it's
So as long as you have that web page loaded up,
correct.
you're good.
And you can put it on your home screen, and it becomes part of your phone.
Yeah. So you don't even have to worry about the App Store or
Yeah.
Google Play Store.
And App Store, no downloading, like, compare and download your updates. Just
Very nice. Very nice.
Also, there's a lot of advantages that technology can offer, which is how to teach the game, how to play. So we'll have an interactive how to play.
Oh, excellent.
And if you want to show the rules, sure. Our rules are very minimal. We try to make sure that this is very
Single piece of
accessible.
paper.
Yep. But the phone will also teach you, and at the end of the game, it will walk you through scoring as well. So if you don't want to read the paper rules,
I'm not going to read a single sheet of paper. No, I definitely appreciate a well-written, easy to teach rules. Like that's something that we don't come across as much as I would like in this industry, to be honest. So definitely appreciate the amount of thought and consideration you put into that.
It takes a lot of energy. It's like the Mark Twain statement. I wrote you this letter, and I'm sorry it's so long, but I didn't have time to make it shorter. But it takes a lot of time and thought, blind testing,
Absolutely.
to make sure we're not missing anything and have sentences make sense. Get it on.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Like, I find that people will playtest a game, but they might not playtest the rules.
Yeah.
And it shows. It shows. When we review games, that's the first pain point that we usually encounter when we review a game. And that's the first thing we usually talk about.
Yeah.
So,
Eamon did a great job of fitting everything and laying out so that it's nice and beautiful and not too old.
so you anticipated my next question. I was going to ask Eamon.
Yeah, what's my role here?
Yeah.
Right? So, these are the game designers. So I was brought on to be the art director for this project, which ended up being fantastic. And I'm doing the graphic design as well. But ultimately, like, I was able to find this incredible, like, illustrator out of yeah, and she was able to kind of capture what we were really looking for, which was that sort of like European Dutch feel for like a flower shop, and like execute that as that vision on the cover of the box. So the box is extremely like just feels good and
Yeah.
attractive on the shelf. And people really like it. We're also able to do what like Tam and David said. We're able to like make our rules concise and simple to understand without being wordy or in any way. And what this does is it removes that barrier of entry to the game, but it also like speeds up that process of like, hey, I bought this game, I opened it up, I actually want to play this instead of sit here and read rules for the next hour.
Right.
Like we can sit there and play it. And the game is pretty intuitive already, so I think it really does like it just works.
Yeah. Now, did you start with mechanics or theme on this one? Because it's the theme is great, like matching flowers. But did it start off with flowers?
That's a good question. So I had been toiling around with this idea of using a Dutch auction in a game and trying to figure out where to place it. And the Dutch auction is based on the Aalsmeer Dutch Auction, the Aalsmeer Flower Market in the Netherlands, which uses Dutch auctions. And I thought, I'm thinking about how to use this Dutch auction. Let's just use it for what it's made for the flowers. So it's kind of both, I guess, because the Dutch auction is from the Netherlands, from Aalsmeer, and we're using that. And we actually built the initial idea and concept. As Tam and I often do, we like to drive to conventions. So we were driving up to a convention, and on the way, we love to design games. And we've designed several of our games in the car on the way to a convention. So we pulled off right before we arrived, went to a Target, got some dominoes, and had our first play test the day we arrived.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That is super cool.
The game was done by the end of the which is pretty much.
Yeah, the core loop, the system of flowers, the number of flowers, the points, the time, the budget, none of that has changed since the third test.
And we
Wow.
have tried several other things, and none of it worked better than
It
Vision
comes back.
I love it. Don't you love it when that happens? It's like,
It's rare.
I know,
When
right?
It does happen. It's magic. I had a designer tell me, PAX Unplugged, he said to me, he said, like, if a game takes longer than about 10 days in design, it's not worth working on because the guys that things come together and it all just forms so fast.
Yeah.
And in some ways, I think that's really
Yeah.
That might be a little extreme.
It might be a little extreme. I agree with that.
You had to rule out all the games that don't go up.
Well,
to
it
10.
doesn't. What was
But
it
some of
included in
these-
this is the balancing you follow.
Right.
But it's that core
idea.
Core user really should work pretty quickly.
So, is this going to crowdfunding, or are you guys going straight to retail?
This is going straight to retail, global distribution in the spring of 25. We have a large distribution partner, which we can't announce quite yet, and they've been incredible to work with. And we are going into production probably in the fall, and should be available in the spring of 25.
Fantastic. And what like MSRP are you guys?
$24.99.
$44.99. It's a great number.
Yeah.
Yes.
In other countries, it'll be whatever the conversion is. It's going to be in several languages and around the world, which is really kind of thrilling.
Right.
for us.
I know.
It's amazing experience.
Yeah, I can see this really catching on. I mean, I can see it catching on here.
We were
This has a very your content feel, right? So, yeah. Especially with the Dutchness.
I think the people in the Netherlands are
Oh yeah.
interesting.
Yeah, absolutely.
we were sitting at media night here, just like was it last 2 nights ago.
Yeah.
There's media night, and several people walked up and they were like, "Oh my gosh!" Like they grabbed a box like this. So like, this art makes me want to buy this game like right now. I buy this game right now, and that really like that's what we were hoping for. Is that
Right.
people are gonna like get that message. They're gonna be in love with this like, beautiful game, and then they're gonna sit down and play and they realize like these two are like genius designers. They're making a great game. Really, like you want to get back out on the table and you're excited when someone comes over. You're like, you've got to play this game.
Yeah. And I love a good 2-player game. Like a good quick 2-player game. Those are always fun. Like, especially when it isn't just a 2-player action. Something that's a little more thematic, or relatability. Don't get me wrong. I love abstract 2 players. It's one of my favorite genres. But this seems like kind of like the best of both worlds.
I think it's worth. Oh,
Please, go ahead.
it was worth mentioning that our partner on this is a game cafe owner.
Nice.
And he came to Tam and said, "We have a demand for 2-player games." So as this was developing,
For dates and people taking some
Yeah.
and as it was developing, we were noticing, well, this is playing a little bit better at 2 players because you can more directly see, okay, that other player is getting this one. What would help them, right? It's a little easier to tell, and so we just kind of lean into that when we get a partnership. Greg May of Hex cafes in New York City.
So if I'm hearing you right,
Yeah.
at some point there were more than 2 players.
Yeah.
In the process.
Yeah.
How is that?
I know.
Right? I'm curious. Like,
The initial app has 4 quadrants.
oh wow, okay. I'm curious to how that was playing. Seems like some expansion possibility.
Maybe if we can get it to play as well. I mean, you would have more tiles, so the winner would take 3, and then you would go clockwise, choosing one at a time, and then it would pass and rotate. It means more tiles. It means you can't really pay. What does that person need? You're really just taking them for what you need.
Right.
It's a lot to consider, but I think it's a really good game at 3 and 4 players. This wasn't quite as good, so we're like, let's put the best game on the table.
It's good. Sometimes you got to kill your nose.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, this is great. I love the theme. Love the speed of it. Like, it's and this is again. Yeah, you're right. This box is just gorgeous.
Yeah, it's gonna pull. It's gonna get pulled off the shelf a lot.
Absolutely. And I think it feels like there's been this wave of games that have come out that have had more of a softer touch. That your game, that Wallow, kind of leans into.
Yeah.
But kind of like really got popularized by like Wingspan and a lot of the games that have come out since then. That I think will really appeal to. Fantastic. Well, thanks for showing us.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Well, I mean, it's an open door policy with you.
I always like being over.
Yeah, I mean, you're practically a member of the team. So.
I have like a Gamingtrend.
I know. I gave you a Gamingtrend license.
I should have worn it.
That might have been a little too confusing for a second.
Oh, that's true.
Well, awesome. Well, I can't wait till this comes out, and I definitely hope we get a chance to cover this some more as you guys get closer to release.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure.
Awesome. So next spring 2025.
Yeah.
Look for this game. Large shelves.